sign up, book the one-to-one with me, book the phone call. Let's have that discussion and let's see where you are in this process. You might have your website already. You might have no website. You might hate social media and need support in that area to get it up and running. So I need to know where you're at so that I can help you and we can create that basis that you can grow from and you can create the business that you want from the dreams that you have. Mentoring with Geraldine is a bite-sized practitioner podcast for naturopaths, nutritionists, herbalists, coaches, and practitioners. This podcast responds directly to the needs of you, the practicing natural therapist. We have interviews during the holiday season and business and mindset support each week, so you'll get the variety you need to enjoy and stay motivated in your practice. Don't forget to subscribe to receive the weekly episodes. And if you want to connect with me, always check the show notes because that's where you'll find the links to book appointments and, of course, to join the Academy, the membership group where there's constant connection and community with like-minded practitioners. Now, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mentoring with Geraldine and the Bite Size Podcast. How the devil are you? So lots has been changing. You may have already looked on my website, geraldineheadley.com, and seen there are new ways to work with me. And some of the old ways, they're still there. They're recordings. You can buy those recordings and watch those recordings. And I would think that Black Friday will see some of those recordings go on sale in November. However, that's all very well, but those are things that you want them in November because you'll listen and watch and work, over the summer holidays when you've got a moment sitting in the, down the beach or in the garden or whatever. But we have to get to that point, don't we, where we go on holiday and we do a little bit of work for ourselves that's enhancing ourselves and who we are and what we do. Whereas at the same time, the rest of the working week, we actually have a flow and we have things ready to go. We have them all set up. We have what we want. Now, to get to there, it's dawned on me, there's been a really long time since I've talked to you about how I got into the mentoring space. So I went on holiday. I went up to Port Douglas, never been there before. And as you do, you post on Facebook, here I am in Port Douglas. And we had rented through a friend, a not very nice little house with a horrible little pool away from things. It was a friend's of a friend's place. And so I'd said, yes, that was fine. There were 3 rooms, off we'd go. We got there and there were only 2 rooms and the other room was locked. And I was like, no, this doesn't work for me. She's like, well, you didn't pay for the 3rd room. I'm like, well, I wasn't told I had to pay anything extra. I was told it was a house with 3 bedrooms. I've got 2 teenage children who are a girl and a boy and they need their own room. So I need the key. I need to unlock this other room. So there was all sorts of irritations with this house. It was outdoor furniture indoors. And so every time you sat on it, it slid across the tiles and it just wasn't the best. I'm sure you've had places like that before yourself. Anyway, then you post on social media, here I am, weather's okay, off to the reef tomorrow, can't wait to see it, the things you post. And at the same time, I'm going through and a girlfriend says, she's in Cairns and she's on the way to Port Douglas. I'm like, wow, we're already here, how are you? I said, we're staying at the Peppers Resort. But she wasn't really staying at the Peppers Resort. She was staying in one of the houses attached to the Peppers Resort, which made our place, it just screamed all of the problems with our place at us. Because you walked into her place, over the outdoor moat, over the little walkway, past the indoor fountain, the 10-seater table, the kitchen, all of the private swimming pool, and access to everything that the Peppers Resort had. And we had our little thing rented from a friend of a friend who sold it, not unsurprisingly, as it turns out. But anyway, so there I was with husband, 2 children. She's got hubby, 3 children, but her 2 are approximately the same age as our 2. So it worked really well. So she said, well, you take ours out for the day, we'll take yours out for the day. I was like, perfect. So she said, we'll take yours out tomorrow. I'm like, lovely. And then we'll take yours out to the Barrier Reef. So the next day, it was my husband and myself, and we've been doing a lot of traveling and a lot of touring. So we're actually quite tired by this time. And it was really nice to have a day where we didn't have to go and do all of the things. And she said, here's the key, stay in our place. We'll be out for the day. So we went into her place and we looked around and we were just like, oh my God, this is so wonderful. I said, I'll make a cup of tea. And hubby went and lay down on the sofa and went to sleep. I went into a deep, solid sleep. So I made my cup of tea and I sat down with my cup of tea, and then I went on social media for a little bit. But there was a book on the side, and the book was called Playing Big by Tara Maher. And this is the book that set me on the path, because the very first chapter talks about the fact that we go out and we keep learning new skills, learning more, thinking we need to know more. And there's comparisons, there's real research about the fact that men will finish a degree and go out to a job and say, yeah, I could do the job. Whereas a woman will go, oh, I'm not sure, maybe I can't do it. Oh, I must do my master's first. And it's the same with us. In our small businesses, we think we haven't got the confidence or the capacity, or we can't do it. So we go and do another course or another class, or we learn another modality. We do something else. And that is what I had been doing up to and including the point of reading this book. Now, it was an absolutely spectacular day for me. My husband literally slept on the couch the whole day. And I, meanwhile, binge read Playing Big. I then went back on social media for my fifth cup of tea or whatever it was. And there was a post there. They needed lecturers at Endeavour in Adelaide. So I applied. I emailed from my phone. I applied and they're like, oh, we need your CV. And of course, I don't have a naturopathic CV because I work for myself. Who am I going to give it to? So I didn't have one. I was on holiday and I only had my phone. So and I thought, hang on a minute. Somewhere, and you can probably find it if you Google it, somewhere on my YouTube channel right at the beginning, it shows me walking around my office, got long brown hair, walking around my office showing all my certificates and what people need to look for in a qualified practitioner. That was what the YouTube video was about, what to look for in a qualified practitioner. But of course, it actually shows all of my qualifications. So I was able to say, well, these are my qualifications in the form of a YouTube video. That will kind of have to do for right now because I'm on holiday, but I will be back for the start of term. So they were able to watch me teaching. They were able to watch me sort of in my environment, see what I did, see what I talked about. And then I was invited in for an interview and I started lecturing. And I do believe it's all on the base of this book. Maybe it was the way the moon was aligned that day. I have no idea. But it really made me stop and think, what is it that I am stopping myself from doing by being this perpetual learner? And I still am a perpetual learner. I still spend money on courses. I've got a couple of courses on the go at the moment. And that's cool. But understanding that they are not the end game. They are part of the whole, which I think is what we need to remember, that you can run the business, you can do the job. When I went out into business, for the first couple of years, I didn't take any money. I refused to take money from anyone. And that's ridiculous. You can't run a business and refuse to take money. It's like, oh, no, it's okay. I don't really know enough yet. And all of the things, all of the insecurities, until I had a client who said she wouldn't work with me unless she paid me. That's quite a rare client, isn't it? But that's what she said. So I charged her and we resolved her migraines that she'd had since the age of 13 and were completely debilitating for her. So we resolved those migraines. We literally got rid of them. Okay, she had had such debilitating migraines that when she immigrated to Australia, her parents immigrated with her because they would come on so quickly that she would crumple wherever she was and she would have to be driven home. And they'd been going on since she was 13. So she said, I won't do it. Unless I'm paying for it, I won't do it. I won't do what I'm meant to do. I won't take what I'm meant to take, especially your disgusting mud herbs, Geraldine. I was like, well, you have to take the mud herbs for me to deal with it, help you deal with this. We got her over her migraines. And then I'd started my business. This was a few years later, quite a few years later that I read this book. But the simple fact is, it was something that turned some sort of switch in my head that said, stop getting in your own way. Stop stopping yourself from achieving. Stop stopping yourself from being where you want to be. Prior to this, I'd tried podcasting, but I couldn't really think of what to talk about. Can you imagine me not being able to think what I should be talking about? Hey, You and I both know that that's not really a thing, is it? So when we look at ourselves and we look at what's holding us back, sometimes we just need a nudge. But with those nudges, it might be that there are true, like big things holding you back that you're really struggling with. You're struggling with your website, or you're struggling with your social media, or you're struggling with the fact that you'd like to do some vlogs rather than blogs, or you'd like to do blogs rather than vlogs, or whatever it is. I mean, these are the big things that people say to me when they start on the 90-day program, and I'm working with them, working through developing their website with them, but they're doing the work, and it's really hard for them to do and takes time. So that's what we've developed, myself and my team, is we are now going to make sure that if you work with me, then all of those options for you are covered if you need them. There are numerous ways to work with me, and the 90-day program is the program that's been out there helping people for a good couple of years now. And it's called the 90-day program for marketing reasons, because 90-day program sounds so much cooler than the 3-month program, doesn't it? And yet it always takes people more than 90 days. But the point is having my staff help you, the practitioner, to set up, to get those systems in place rather than me telling you what you have to do and you rushing to do them before I see you next. And having people supporting you in the background, having them create that content or that website or update your website, get your website working so that it's SEO, you are the CEO, SEO manageable, then that's what's going to improve how you work. That's what's going to help you take that step out of overwhelm or overwhelm, past overwhelm and beyond, so that you can really start being the practitioner that you want to be. I needed that leg up, and I literally got it from a book. And over the years, I started out with a manila folder. I started out writing notes on paper. I then started putting everything online. I then started doing online consults. I've always done telephone consults, but I started doing online consults. Then I was working online. I was lecturing online. I was teaching online. I started my groups. I made things work for me. And then COVID came along and I taught everybody else how to go online and to do it online. But what we are seeing is clients wanting to come back and see you. They want to step inside your doors. They want to see you as a physical human. And so some of that is being able to introduce yourself to them, for them to feel they know you, that they understand who you are before they step a digital foot inside your door or a real physical foot inside your door. So having this digital content created, having this digital content up and running for you in 90 days is what's really going to start making that difference. So for the month of June, we're in beta because we can only take 2 people per month. That's 1 person per fortnight. So we're in beta, but that does mean that you can sign up before that. On the website, you'll see there's a sign up, and then that does involve booking a one-to-one with me to see when you'd be ready, to see what it is that you need that is within the time frame and what the time frame would be for the development of all of your product, your website, your social media, all of the things that you need. So it's in beta at the moment, just till the end of June, so that if you sign up before the end of June, you'll get the beta price as well. After that, it will go up to regular pricing. So I don't know, it might be something that you really want to look at or at least investigate. If nothing else, you might not be ready for it yet, but remember you can put the deposit down and then have things completed later in the year. You could put the deposit down and start on the slow process so that when your time comes, some things are ready to go and ready to launch already. So sign up, book the one-to-one with me, book the phone call. Let's have that discussion and let's see where you are in this process. You might have your website already. You might have no website. You might hate social media and need support in that area to get it up and running. So I need to know where you're at so that I can help you and we can create that basis that you can grow from and you can create the business that you want from the dreams that you have. So let me know. Go and have a look, GeraldineHeadley.com. It's not Headley is how you spell my surname, not any of the other variations that you are pondering right now. It's the head on your shoulders with an Ley behind it. But I'd love to catch up with you. I'd love to have that chat with you see how you're going, see what you're up to, and see how I can support you in your business going forward. So let me know, and let's catch up soon. Now you enjoy the rest of your day, whatever it may hold, whether it be night. I hope you have a lovely night's sleep. And whether it be the beginning of your day, I hope that things go exactly as you plan. And if they don't go as you planned, they go even better than you planned. So have a good one, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. See ya. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast for the weekly episodes. If you'd like even more support and learning, then the Academy is for you. Here you'll find part 2 of the herbal discussions, more clinical learning, and case studies to support your clients in practice. Bye for now.